welcome back. If you're just tuning in, we were speaking with prophetess Christina Weeks. She's a prophetess, she's an evangelist, an international evangelist, joined with her husband, Bishop Thomas Weeks. You know, man of God, you remind me of my husband so much. You know, when we were talking last night, because he's so conservative. You know, and you remind me of a person very conservative. And I always tell my husband, I'm his wild side. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to have the wild side, right? But how do you fit all into this in the ministry in North Carolina and your churches in Georgia as well, correct?
Yes. Well, both of us have the same core values, 3 generations of ministry, a passion for the kingdom, a love for God's people, and it just seemingly hand in hand fit. And more importantly, the awesomeness that God has put in my wife is the blessing, the better side of me. So it makes all of that illuminate. And so she is my best friend. Yes. She is my wild side, if you want to put it like that.
That's right.
She is a grace to me, and I love her so much. And daily I thank God for the gift that he's given me.
Amen. You know, it's so beautiful to hear that, because a lot of times we don't know how to handle gifts. You know, especially when you get a gift. When somebody give you something, don't you take care of it?
Very much.
You know what I used to do? I'm going to talk about this gift thing. When people used to give me gifts in my church, and, you know, it could be a gift that maybe I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what it is most of the time. And I get it, and I keep it for a while, and then okay, I'm going to confess. I have to confess, prophetess. I turned around and I wrapped them same gifts up. And I gave them back. I said, Lord, please don't let it be the sister who just gave me this gift. Because I really don't know what the gift is. But when you have a gift, you can value something precious, don't you think?
Exactly, exactly. And that's what God gave me and my husband as well, as a true gift. And I just thank God that, you know, God will send you what you need when you need. And I just want to encourage all the ladies that are listening, wait on God. And, you know, sometimes you have to go through a couple of crazies and a couple of situations that don't really make you feel good. But if you hold on, God will send you what you need.
I know. I think sometimes people get impatient.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was wonderful how you were talking about the word last night about Jairus' daughter and how he had to operate patience because God was healing the woman with the issue of blood.
Exactly.
And a lot of times we want to jump before God.
Exactly.
And get our own thing, and then we thought, oh, why did I do this?
Exactly.
We need to wait, right?
Exactly. And that's what happened. Even though he was on delay, he still got the miracle.
you know, I think when we're talking about miracles and patience, I think that's one of the attributes that my husband carries, is that patience. And 24 years, you know, we've been married. Go ahead, y'all. And I tell you, Bishop and Prophetess, if that man wasn't patient, he would have kicked me into Lake Washington. You know, I'm just like, Lord, to have that patience, but he is coming to your neighborhood. Exactly. The Lord will come and see about you.
Exactly, he will. And it's all about developing patience. Many of us don't realize we allow situations to frustrate us.
Yes.
And we don't realize frustration can be a good thing if we know how to turn it into praise. And, you know, frustration, the enemy wants to get us so patient where we get mad and we just lash out.
Yes.
But when we just know that God is coming in our circumstances through whatever we go through. And so he did it with giving me an awesome man. So I continue to know that God is a miracle worker.
You're just so beautiful. Y'all just attractive couple. I just love it. I just love people of God who are about something. And what about people in your ministry? Are they, you know how they reflect you? The workers that you have with you, are they like going out preaching just like you, or other little evangelists growing up? Are you grooming and mentoring them?
Well, the church is very solid on the principles that we teach, and that is a righteous life and a very committed focus towards the kingdom. You know, life to Christ, life to serve, life to give is not taught as much. And so with that focus, we have a lot of people in our church that are inspired about sharing the word. They may not be, quote unquote, the evangelist or minister, but they're definitely kingdom seekers. And they bring others to seek the kingdom of God, and that's very important.
Wow. Now, I want to come to visit you guys down in the South. I hardly get a chance to go down to the South. You're in Atlanta, Georgia? Or?
We're right outside of Atlanta. Everybody says Atlanta, Georgia. It's called Duluth. It's a northern side suburb of Atlanta.
Right. You know, I've been to the South several times. I have a sister that lives in Ellenwood or Ellen something. And when I go down there, it's just so funny to me because I'm from Denver originally. And so we've been pastoring for 17 years in the Northwest.
All right.
And so when I go down to the South, when I see the stores Win and Dixie, I have an issue with that. When I see Piggly Wiggly, you know, I want to go to the Safeway. and then my friend lived in Baton Rouge, and then the street we was driving down is Plantation Avenue or something like, and I just have this type of image thing that, you know, I don't know.
Exactly.
But do you ever feel that way? It's like oppression, especially in the South, because there was so much slavery hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Do you think that air is still kind of hovers in the South?
Well, for me, North Carolina, I think Georgia, and I'm going to tell you really what my experience was. My real Southern experience was I had never spoken in the Delta of Mississippi.
Okay.
And so that was the one. I went down there and I told my husband, I said, wow, I said, now, I don't know how I'm going to make it down here. But it really ended up being such a great experience.
Yes,
but that probably was the first time I think I've ever had a Southern experience. Really, Atlanta and North Carolina are pretty progressive and pretty, you know, they're really moving forward.
I'm from the North. I'm originally from Boston and then from Washington, D.C. Yeah, so coming down to Atlanta, I think it's kind of raised, of course, in various sectors there might be pockets of discrimination or anything that deals with racism, et cetera, or that complexity. But most of all, I think it's, you know, kind of mellowed out a lot more, yeah.
So when you travel and go to different areas, especially, what is the most, I want you to think about it, and then we're going to take a break. What is the most exciting or captivating place that you've ministered at? Okay, since you know, even if it's out of the country or here in the United States, and I want to know what that is. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take a break and be back with the Weeks in a moment.
Picnics are a fun event until you eat every meal at a park bench. Family homelessness in Pierce County is a growing problem, with almost 40% more families living on the edge. Luckily, there is an organization that is working to end family homelessness in Pierce County, Helping Hand House in Puyallup. Make a difference in the life of a family like yours and make picnics fun again. Visit us at helpinghandhouse.org.
Everyone is being affected by today's economy. We often forget that this also affects our four-legged friends. Many of us consider our pets as part of the family. People tend to think of their pets first, like a parent would think of their child, and put their pet before themselves. How do you tell your companion that you don't have food for them? Well, now there is a way for those to get help in these times of need. 4F, Food for Four-Legged Friends, is a nonprofit organization that receives donations of pet food to distribute to local food banks and senior pet food banks. The founders and board members of this organization are passionate animal lovers who donate their time to staffing and collecting donations for 4F.
We feed pets.
We do this by providing food to people on fixed incomes, such as the elderly, the disabled, low-income families, and the homeless.
If you would like to learn more, go to animalfoodbank.org.
Picnics are a fun event until you eat every meal at a park bench. Family homelessness in Pierce County is a growing problem, with almost 40% more families living on the edge. Luckily, there is an organization that is working to end family homelessness in Pierce County, Helping Hand House in Puyallup. Make a difference in the life of a family like yours and make picnics fun again. Visit us at helpinghandhouse.org.
All right, we were speaking with the Weeks, and I proposed a question to them regarding the most captivating, exciting place that you guys traveled at to minister at. Where would that be?
Well, for me, I was supposed to be scheduled in 2008 to only go to the state of Michigan to only speak in a 3-day revival.
Okay.
And the presence of God electrified in that one church, in that one city, to where people start traveling around other cities, and the church was packed and people were being healed. People were coming back to the church already within a 3-day span, showing debts being canceled and financial blessings, and people were getting saved. It was such an outpouring that another pastor came and said, I want you to come to my church, which was about 40 minutes down the road. I ended up staying there. The power of God moved. Another pastor asked. So my brother and I then ended up going through, in October of 2008, we went through 6 cities in 30 days. And I did not leave the state of Michigan.
Wow.
Went through 6 cities, but it was there. Only supposed to be there 3 days. Ended up staying a total of 30 days.
Was it like an Azusa experience?
It was definitely like, I'm telling you, the power of God moved. And those people it was just such a life-changing month. And not only did it change the people of God, it's also a life-changing month for me as well.
Wow, what about you, Bishop?
A lot of international travel, but Belgium stands out. It was about 4 years prior that Benny Hinn was there, and so it was like a drought, almost 5 years, and there was no major revival. They called me for revival in Belgium, and the people were so hungry that, especially about 160 pastors in one session, just basically fell on the floor and said, "Give us the way of God that you see." And they wanted to be anointed to take it back to the churches. And the next service was phenomenal. I gave them what we call the prophetic baptism, where there was water that we just threw out because God moved upon the face of the waters. And sometimes a refreshing comes. You know, many times when we are in the shower, we feel refreshed after we come out of it because there is a presence with water that God obviously reveals himself. And that night was never, I saw a pastor just say, "Drench me." And Belgium has never been the same, nor for myself.
What is the predominantly faith in Belgium? Is it Catholic?
It is really more Catholic based, but it's been changing more Pentecostal, charismatic. And with all of, because it's close to, of course, Holland and others, there's a kind of witchcraft area that has been centered around Belgium because every nation is in Belgium because of the United Nations and also the sect of the UN that sends their armies out to various countries. So there's a particular warfare that comes on Belgium other than other countries.
Well, you know, here in the Northwest, Washington State is the second non-church state in America.
Really?
So there's a lot of New Age movement up here, a lot of witchcraft. And yeah, people here, I mean, they want to start church on time and end church on time so they can walk their dogs. You know you do, viewers. You walk your dogs or go out on the boat or go fishing or swimming. Is very humanistical. It's very liberal in that sense. It's like the reverence or the honor of God is like maybe second or third place here. It's not like the Bible Belt.
Right.
Yeah, the Northwest.
Right.
So after all this travel and all the things that you do, and when you come back and you know, as couples, because we, like I said, I'm in ministry too, and there's sometimes that you have to take a break for each other and just be husband and wife.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yes.
So we're going to take a break and just come back and see, you guys go to movies, eat popcorn, what do you do, okay? All right, we're going to find out. Be back in a moment.